Hey everybody, Misha. We're talking about gallbladder today because it's come up in the last couple of talks I've had. So, have you ever wondered why we even have a gallbladder in the first place? Why does this little tiny organ really do for us? What does it do for us? And why is it so important when it comes to digestion and overall health? I want to tell you it's more important than you think and more important than you've been told. I lost mine. I now struggle with a lot of things because this tiny organ that they said I didn't need is causing problems because I don't have it. So let's start by understanding what the gallbladder actually does. It's a small pear-shaped organ. You can see it in the picture, tucked beneath your liver. It's attached to your liver and it does so much, but its job is to store bile. Now, why? Bile is something that's essential for breaking down fats in the foods we eat. So think of it like a fuel tank. When you eat fatty foods, the gallbladder releases bile into the small intestine to help break down those fats, making them easier for your body to absorb. If you don't have this storage tank, it becomes really hard to digest those fats. So you'll end up with gastritis and all kinds of pain. I know I've been there. So welcome in, everybody. We're going to talk about this gallbladder thing. If you go to the doctor and they say you don't really need it, question that doctor and do some research because you might not like what happens to you afterward. Now, in women, I want you to understand something as we talk about the gallbladder. It's more prevalent in women than in men. Women will have a harder time losing weight after they've gotten their gallbladder removed. They'll also become more likely to become insulin resistant afterward. And women are always told, or not always, often told during pregnancy when they start having issues that to just remove the gallbladder. And then you end up with the trying to lose the weight afterward. You end up with being insulin resistant when you're pregnant, and now you can't overturn it because your gallbladder, this small little thing that does so little in many medical opinions, actually does so much. So that little pear-shaped thing that's holding onto bile, helping you break down fat. When your body's out of balance, especially with insulin resistance, it can create a domino effect that messes with your liver and your gallbladder. So imagine if the fuel tank of your car was constantly overfilled. Eventually, it might overflow, and that's going to cause a huge mess. But that's what happens when insulin resistance causes the liver to produce too much cholesterol. It can lead to gallstones, which block bile flow and make digestion harder. It's all linked back to insulin. You guys, cholesterol, the word cholesterol, stop associating it with the healthy dietary fats that I talk about. Start associating it with those seed oils that we talk about and with sugar. That's the cholesterol issue. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had in the last few days about cholesterol, and I wish people were better educated by their medical professions as to where it actually comes from. Sugar is one of the largest drivers. All right. So what happens when things go wrong with the gallbladder, especially if insulin resistance is in play? Well, you end up with gallstones. You end up with pain. You end up not being able to digest as easily. Hey, Norma. Hey, MS Faster. Welcome in, you guys. We're talking about gallbladder today. So here's the thing I want you to know. As we go through this, I'm going to bring up the system. We're going to talk about a system that's made to directly address insulin resistance. So just like in your body, when one part starts to struggle, everything else follows suit. And that's the key why managing insulin resistance is so important, not just for your blood sugar, but for your overall digestive health, your overall health. I'm here every day talking about your health and how it relates to insulin resistance. You got to get that one key piece. I call it the infant elephant in the room. You got to take care of that. And that elephant in the room of our metabolic health is insulin resistance. So I've seen a lot of people transform their health by using this protocol and addressing the root cause of that insulin resistance that brings back balance to their metabolism. It's been a game changer for me, but it's been a game changer for everybody that I've worked with. And it helps with things like digestion, energy, and even weight management. It's how a simple shift can bring huge benefits. We're going to talk more about the gallbladder, but if you want to know how to start feeling better and stop that digestive discomfort by addressing insulin resistance, comment gallbladder to learn more about this protocol. It supports your digestive health. You guys, I'm going to be super smart, super like I put on some lipstick just a minute ago and I forgot it has this like plumping sensation thing in it. It's one of the ones that so my lips are burning. And so I'm a little it's kind of funny. All right, so let's get back to the gallbladder. So excuse me, you guys. If you've have you ever wondered why you have certain health issues that snowball? It feels like one thing affects another, and before you know it, you're dealing with multiple concerns. Well, insulin resistance is likely at the bottom of all of those. It's a big player in this chain reaction, especially when it comes to your gallbladder. So, how exactly does insulin resistance affect or impact your gallbladder? Hey, Julia, thanks for the loves and likes. You guys, by the way, please feel free to share this out to anyone who's having gallstone issues, gallbladder issues, liver issues, health issues, because they might find something that's helpful to them. And then they'll be like, thank you. Thank you for this information. Okay. So, insulin resistance is really it's like a traffic jam in your body's communication system. Normally, insulin helps glucose or sugar enter into your cells, giving you energy. But with insulin resistance, your cells don't respond as well to insulin. So your body's pumping out more to compensate. This produces a strain on your pancreas where the insulin is created, but it also creates an overload of insulin, and that starts causing issues, especially in your liver and gallbladder. I want you to make a moment to remember that insulin is anabolic. It wants to hold on to things. Okay. That's going to be important as we go through this. So, if your liver starts making more cholesterol because it's building more stuff, which can then form into gallstones, those stones get in the way of bile flow, making it harder for your body to break down and absorb fat properly. It's like trying to drive down a narrow road with way too many cars on it. Everything slows down and gets stuck. And when this happens, your gallbladder can become inflamed, leading to discomfort, bloating, and even more serious digestive issues. So, you guys, personal story. When I ended up going in, hey, I can't even say your name, Umut. Um, when almost 4 years, 3.5 years ago, I thought I had food poisoning. I was really sick for 3 or 4 days, so sick that I could barely get out of bed. I was in pain, body wide. I'm pretty tough, so I just put off going to the doctor. And then I finally said, I've got to go. If it doesn't resolve by tomorrow at this time, I've got to go. By the time I got to the doctor, I was so septic that they said I was about 2 hours from death. Had I waited longer, 2 hours longer, I wouldn't be here today. And what was it that was making me so sick and septic? My gallbladder was blocked by many gallstones that were resultant of years and years of being insulin resistant. And nobody told me that that was a problem. Nobody said this was an issue. Nobody even said there was anything going on in my gallbladder. I had other imaging for a hernia I had done, and nobody said anything about all these stones in my gallbladder. So, doesn't it sound like a lot of things can go wrong when insulin resistance is unchecked? Because it can. So, if you're feeling sluggish, bloated, or dealing with digestive discomfort, it might be time for you to look at what's happening under the hood. Because the root of most of all of this under our hood, insulin resistance definitely contributes and can cause gallstones. So there's two ways gallstones form. One of them is through excess sugar and cholesterol formation that starts to form crystals and gallstones. Yes, absolutely. And and I'm taking it you didn't know that because you asked the question, just like most of us never get told that, right? And if you've had gallstones, Ruby, let me know. Because I want to ask if you've had them, has any doctor ever told you you have insulin resistance? If we start getting rid of that, you can start to slow down those. Yeah, they do not tell you all this information. I'm going to tell you why, Ruby, because this is a common knowledge thing for people in the medical field. Do you know that your physician 80% of physicians have not had not even one nutrition course. And yet you go in there and they're trying to tell you how to change your diet to get better, but they've never had a nutrition course, much less a real metabolic or course. They're pushed into specializing and pushing drugs, right? They like my gallbladder was so full and so um, just at risk that they said if we didn't get it out, I would be septic again and it could cost me my life. So I let them take my gallbladder out. I now wish I hadn't. You're not sure it's a coincidence this was on your FYP today? Yep, that's why I love TikTok too, Ruby. I got goosebumps, so it must be. So what happens when they take the gallbladder and you're still insulin resistant, meds not working? So yeah, now Stacy Joe, your comment didn't show up, but I'm gonna approve it. So what happens is getting the gallbladder out doesn't remove the insulin resistance. So what they're doing in a lot of these cases is they're removing the symptom, they're not addressing the root cause. And that's why I'm here every day talking about all of these things, because we need to address the root cause. If you're like me and you've had your gallbladder out, nobody addressed it in the first place, and now you're paying the price for it. And you know the pain of having a gallbladder that's not there. Man, if I get a hold of anything, like if I go out to my family and I get a hold of something that has the wrong oil in it or whatever, I am up all night long in horrendous pain. And I do lots of things to help. And Stacy Joe, I can help you with some of the things that I do. But what we really need to understand is before we cause more damage, because I want you to understand this, I'm going to pause. If your gallbladder is already sick, your liver is sick. Okay. So if you've lost your gallbladder, your liver is struggling too. And guess what's causing that fatty liver for most of us? Insulin resistance. So you really just don't want to be on metformin again. It made me so sick. Ruby, I was on metformin for a very short period of time before I found the protocol I'm going to talk about. And I was so sick. My body hurt head to toe. You guys, TMI. So if you don't want to hear this, just tune me out for a second. But these ladies are going to know what I'm talking about. I was at my daughter's house for Christmas traveling. And so I was sleeping on the couch and I had just been given metformin a few weeks earlier. I got so sick that, and at that point in time, I wasn't on the protocol. My joints were failing. I was in pain. It took me a long time to get up out of a chair, much less from laying down on the couch. I felt that sickness. I got up. I tried to get to the bathroom. And this is the gross part, you guys, but I ended up blowing chunks all over her kitchen, her hallway, and down her bathroom. That was about 2 a.m. I was still cleaning up from that when they got up the next morning. Metformin was so hard on my body, and I was like, never again. I'm not ever doing this. Yes, I have. So I can't see your name. The question is, can my daughter of 14 years old have a better chance of reversing her type 2 diabetes? Absolutely, she can. My granddaughter was 11 years old. I noticed she had some of the signs that I talk about, like dark skin patches were the one. I also noticed that she was eating a lot of fruit, not enough protein. She was eating healthy. She wasn't eating a lot of candy bars and stuff, but I noticed signs of her that she had diabetes. We took her in to get her tested. She did have pre-diabetes. She started the same protocol and still does it today that I'm talking about, reversed it. I reversed my type 2 diabetes at 57. If I can do it at 57, your kid can do it at 14. Okay. And we're going to get to that protocol in just a minute. Depends on how much. If you guys want to get to it sooner, that's fine. But let me talk about this link between gallstones and insulin resistance really quick. And then we'll dive into the protocol as much as you guys want, because that's why I'm here to help you know that there's a better solution for this. You don't have to be suffering with all these medications and all the stuff. And kids, by the way, we have kids as young as 2 years old who drink both products. It's really just 2 drinks that you're having at 3 times during the day. No, it's not AIP. So it's just 2 real food drinks, gluten-free, halal, but they're so strongly backed medically that they're in the PDR. They're some of the only natural food products that are in the PDR. So let's talk about that link between gallbladder and insulin, and then I'm more than happy to get into all the talk about the protocol because it's so important. It's what changed my life. I saw Ben on here a minute ago, changed his life. I have so many people that it's just really changed everything for them. By the way, I've also had a type 1 diabetic. He was 9 or 10 when he started, who reduced his need for fast-acting insulin, reduced his need for long-acting insulin by over 40%, lost about 40 pounds, and gained back mental clarity and like verve for life, all the things. And when I asked him about how hard it was, he said it was the easiest thing he'd done. type 1 diabetic. So, and yes, kids are very, very susceptible to this. And especially in today's world, while I'm talking about gallbladder, let's give you another fact here. A couple of years ago, when I started this, when I started learning about insulin resistance, because no doctor I ever worked with, and I worked in the medical field, ever told me about it. Um, about 4 years ago, it was said that we were having cases of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease in kids as young as 6. Fruit juice and too many fruits. Fruits are good, but not in the excessive amounts that we're giving them to kids today, especially when we combine it with fruit juice. And I'll explain all that towards the end. We now have children as young as 3 years old with non-alcoholic fatty liver. So is it just the fruit juice, or is it the insulin resistance that's coming along with the fruit juice? I'm going to tell you yes, that's causing these disorders in children as young as 3. That's devastating. No 3-year-old should be born and then within their first few years of life be suffering with a liver that's so fatty it's called NAFLD. Because then they end up with cirrhosis, they end up with having to have a liver replaced at some point. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it, especially when we know what insulin resistance is. They've known what it is for years, but they never, ever address it in the medical office. And do you know why? The truth of it, why? Because they don't have a drug to give you for insulin. They have a drug to give you for your sugars, right? You go in and you find out your A1C is high or your blood sugars are high. They give you metformin, they give you all these other drugs. They can do that, but they don't test for insulin because they haven't had a really great way to test for it, and they don't have a drug that they can give you. And why would a medical company want to tell you that you should change your diet or do something that's simple and natural to fix it if they're going to lose out on selling you medications? Think about it. Okay. So, all right. If you've ever been told that you have gallstones, or maybe you've been dealing with constant bloating or discomfort, it's more common than you think. And it ties back to insulin resistance. But you guys are going to ask this, how, and somebody already did, how exactly are they connected and what's really happening inside your body? Gallstones are like unwanted debris. So you've created too much cholesterol because the insulin resistance is telling your liver to create too much of that fatty liver, passing it into your gallbladder, and that presence of excess cholesterol in your gallbladder starts to create these little stones. Okay, so they're unwanted debris that builds up in a clogged drain. The more they build up, the more they're clogging that drain. So normally your gallbladder releases bile as you eat to help you break down and digest fats. But when we have insulin resistance messing with the liver and storing too much cholesterol, it disrupts your liver function and encourages the production of too much cholesterol. And that excess cholesterol can form crystals that harden over time, eventually turning into gallstones. So I've had my gallbladder removed also, and it's not fun. You missed the part where I talked about it's going to be harder for you to lose weight. You're going to be more likely to be insulin resistant. There's a lot of science behind that. There are a few things I do, and I'm going to share that as well as the protocol at the end of this live. So hang out with me for a minute, and I'll tell you what I do for relief. It always cracks me up when guys or people who've never had a gallbladder issue or any of this say, oh, it's so easy to lose weight. No, it's not. No, it's not. Not when your gallbladder is removed and you're a woman and you're going through hormonal changes. Now it's like crazy hard. Do you know what I'm talking about? So think of these gallstones like a sink that's overflowing with greasy water, where grease solidifies and blocks your drain. These gallstones in the bile ducts, they're preventing bile from doing its job and making digestion even harder. And over time, that causes more and more pressure on your gallbladder and your liver, leading to inflammation and pain. You already know what gastritis feels like. And if left untreated, it can result in serious digestive issues. That gastritis that you experience when you have a gallbladder out, this is why I'm saying be careful, address it now. Don't let them take it out if they don't have to. It's painful. You guys, it's painful. My tummy, if I get a hold of the wrong foods, my tummy will bloat up like a blimp and I can feel it hard. You could almost play drums on it. And then it'll take 5 or 6 hours and then finally that will all go away. but beyond that, it's painful. And you get acid reflux and you get all this other stuff. It's extremely painful. Nobody wants to live through that gastritis. And then you can't eat as much. Can you cleanse the gallbladder? I would start by getting insulin sensitive. Stop eating fruits if you're having problems and stop eating high amounts of sugar. And then I'm going to give you the solution in just a little bit that I use that can actually absolutely help your liver start to clean up and over time clean up your gallbladder. I will do a video on how to cleanse the gallbladder after this live. Okay. So I need to do a little more research on that. That's not an area where I normally talk about, but it's one I have researched in the past. So we'll talk about that, Bailey. I'll do a video on that later. Look for it in the shorts. Okay. So isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy how insulin resistance can make so many problems in our health, from digestive issues to gallstones, to memory problems, to joint problems, to teeth and gums that are bleeding, to your hair falling out, to heart problems. It all starts with imbalance, and that imbalance is in your body in the hormone of insulin doing too much because we're eating too often, too much of the wrong foods. So that's where the protocol I'm about to talk about comes into play. It helps tackle the root cause of insulin resistance, easing the pressure on your liver and your gallbladder. By addressing insulin resistance directly, it can help prevent those symptoms before they ever start. Okay. And it supports healthy digestion along the way. So I've seen firsthand how people's lives improve once they start making small, consistent changes. If you're ready to feel better, you guys, if you're ready to feel better, hang out with me because we're going to go over this protocol. And it may be the solution you're looking for. If it is, amazing. If it's not, I hope you find what you need. All right. We're going to talk about one more thing to prevent and take control of your health, prevent these gallbladders. So, with all this talk that I've just done about, thank you, Dee, with all the talk about insulin resistance and gallstones and digestive issues, look, I get it. It's probably feeling overwhelming because it felt overwhelming for me at first too. I just am a geek and love this stuff. So understand though that none of this has to be overwhelming. I remember taking in 2 pages of symptoms to my doctor, just like in desperation, like, this is everything that's going on. Can't you please figure it out and help me? Please help me. Anybody else feel that kind of desperation? And you know what? I thought that by taking in all of those, they would catch something. Like maybe I wasn't telling them enough. Maybe I wasn't giving them enough. Maybe there was something that I was missing that was going to lead them down the right path. And it didn't. It confused them even more. And it took them down all these specialized paths. And nobody ever looked at the one big thing that linked into those 2 pages of symptoms, which is insulin resistance. Okay. So I want you to, now I can calm down. I want you to know that there is a better way and you can take control of it. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. You don't even have to know all the stuff I'm talking about. I do it because I want you to understand that this really works. But just know that there's 2 drinks, 3 points during the day you can drink. It's going to help you, and it can help you. Like it reversed my diabetes, my hypertension. Unfortunately, we didn't catch it in time to save my gallbladder, but now it helps me manage that even, and I'll explain that in a minute. So taking control of insulin resistance is your first step. Get your insulin resistance under control if you want to save your gallbladder. Okay. You have to get that under control. It's like maintaining a car to keep it running smoothly. You wouldn't let your car run on low oil or skip regular checkups. Your body works the same. By supporting insulin sensitivity, getting rid of the insulin resistance, you're essentially giving your system a tune-up, keeping everything working like it should. Okay, it's all about that insulin resistance. So you can make small yet powerful changes to keep insulin resistance in check and keep your gallbladder supported, and maybe potentially keep your gallbladder and let it clear out. Okay, you got to stop the amount of sugar. So things like eating a balanced diet rich in fiber and healthy fats. We're going to talk about fiber and healthy fats in a minute. Antioxidants, avoiding processed sugars and refined carbs. That's going to help you out. So if you guys are here, I have an ebook called 6 Simple Steps to Managing Your Insulin Resistance, totally free to you guys. These are the 6 simple steps. I'll go over them in more detail later. And we just mentioned a couple of them. You want to get fiber in first. And I'm going to explain how fiber is helping in this. I'm sorry, I'm getting messages and it can be distracting. And then you want to prioritize protein. You're going to not fear fats, but you got to know what fats you can eat. Okay. So those fats are all listed in that ebook. If it's basically what I want to give you right now, if it's not from a fruit that you can squeeze and get oil out of, don't use it in your cooking. If it's in a clear plastic bottle, don't use it in your cooking. Don't use it at all. I don't have any of that in my house. If I get any of it in my system, I'm done for. As long as I'm using olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, butter, I'm okay. The minute any of that other stuff touches my lips, my gallbladder goes into spasms. Not my gallbladder, my liver, because I don't have a gallbladder anymore. Okay. It's taken me 4 years to start clearing up my liver after all that damage. Tallow is amazing. So the animal fats and the yolks in your eggs, those are amazing. Again, you want to think of seed oils like canola oil, corn oil, vegetable oil, grapeseed oil, all of those in a light bottle. Stay away from them. Okay, so start with fiber first. Prioritize protein. Most of us are not getting in near enough protein in a day. Your body needs it to build and heal. Don't fear fats, but eat the right kinds of fats. Limit your carbs. The other two things are this. Do some intermittent fasting. Stop eating all the damn time. All these people saying you got to eat every 2 hours, they're killing your metabolism. And it will show up in time. I followed that advice in my 20s. Yeah, I was able to stabilize my weight for a little while, but guess what happened? And then by my 30s, my metabolism was in the tank. And I started gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight and getting sicker. But my numbers were all normal on my lab test. So my doctors all said I'm fine. But I'm like, but I'm not fine because I hurt everywhere. It was insulin resistance that had built up because I was eating every 2 hours, smaller meals, like they said, and it killed my metabolism. And now I've been strengthening it up again through some intermittent fasting and these methods. Okay. So the last one I want to tell you is move your body. I was showing my son some exercises. You guys, it doesn't have to be intense. It doesn't have to be crazy. I'm going to give you a real tip here. It's not in the book, but I should add it to the ebook. But it could be as easy as getting up and doing 10 or 20 air squats every 45 minutes. You're moving your muscles. You're moving the largest muscles in your body that are going to use up insulin and help you get rid of that glucose out of your bloodstream. There's places like Warrior Tai Chi and a number of places on YouTube that have quick little burst exercises. Do them. Just move your body. We're all way too sedentary, and that's causing us to be insulin resistant. Okay, so those are all some things that will also help your gallbladder. You got to stay away from the seed oils, though, and you got to stay away from sugar. If you're already having liver and gallbladder problems, they're only going to make it worse. Okay, so you can make small and powerful changes to keep your insulin resistance in check. That ebook is all about that, and it will support your gallbladder. Things like eating that balanced diet, healthy fats, high in fiber, antioxidants, avoiding the processed and refined foods. And when I talk about limit your carbs, we're talking about bag, box, barcoded processed carbs. If you're coming to me and saying, I'm eating a salad with broccoli and cucumber and whatnot on it, feel free. But when we're talking about rice, breads, pastas, root potatoes and stuff, limit those, okay? Okay, so all of this, just like maintaining the oil in your car, ensures that you're having longevity with your gallbladder. Even if you've already started to damage your gallbladder, you can make it healthier. All right. So taking care of your gallbladder and your metabolism can prevent gallstones and digestive issues from ever taking hold and you ever getting to the point where Dee and Stacy and I are all at. Okay. Plus, that regular physical activity that I talked about helps improve that insulin sensitivity and supports liver function. And remember, if your liver is functioning properly, your gallbladder is doing better. Okay. Liver up here, little olive shaped thing, gallbladder attached to it. It comes, all the stuff that coming through the liver is coming through your gallbladder. Okay, so pay attention to that. Now, can you imagine, and you guys who've had your gallbladder removed, I'm so sorry. I get your pain. Can you imagine how much better your daily life would feel if you didn't have to worry about digestive or metabolic health issues? How feeling free from all of that would feel again. And most of us don't even realize that it's a metabolic health issue, why we're sick. We just know we're sick. But I'm going to tell you 95% of our diseases and disorders, chronic ones especially, are linked to insulin resistance. So that's where the protocol comes in. Okay, so this is it. The protocol is simple, sustainable. It's real food that's helping your health. So it's two drinks that I have at 3 points during the day, 2 teas that I have during the day. Hey, Misha. Louise, I read your comment. Hey, Louise. So Louise has been working with me. And Louise, will you tell them, do I answer your questions and help you when you have them? Just let them know that. And you can tell them why you started if you want to. But it's these 2 drinks that you have at 3 points during the day. And it gets confusing. You hear other people talking about it. I'm here to make it simple for you. It doesn't have to be as complicated as it sounds. I mix my tea up in one big mug, and I sip on it all day long. Okay. Then before I eat, now especially because I have no gallbladder, I have this every time I eat regardless. So sometimes I have it because let's be honest, I still snack once in a while. I have this at about 2 to 3 times a day. So this is what's happening. The tea is a yerba mate. That's a very highly concentrated yerba mate. You drink it in the morning first thing, and then you drink it again at whatever point in the day when you start to feel hunger breakthrough or your energy dip. They say 4 to 6 hours, but there's not a specific time. Okay. You just are drinking it when you need it, and it's there to boost your energy and kickstart your metabolism. It helps you improve insulin sensitivity, boost your GLP-1 production up to 70% higher, supporting better glucose control and fat metabolism, and it's packed with natural compounds that help regulate blood sugar, improve energy, and aid in digestion. When your digestion is going better and you're not having the quick hits of sugar, your liver's going to do better, your gallbladder is going to do better. When you use the fiber, this multi-fiber pre-meal drink, you drink it right before you eat, and it helps regulate your blood sugars by slowing the absorption of that glucose. So it's like it's time releasing it is what I like to think. Some people call it a prophylactic for the sugar. So it's improving your digestive health, not overloading you with sugar all at once, not allowing your insulin to spike up too high, helping you become more insulin sensitive through all those actions. But it also helps. There's components in this, and I've had long conversations with a woman who's considering this recently because she's concerned about cholesterol. There are components added into this that support healthy cholesterol balance. It works to help keep you full, reduce your cravings, and stabilize your blood sugar after eating. So they work synergistically on this. Whew, you can use an attitude adjustment is what I'm going to tell you. It's sad that so many people are just so toxic. They got to reach out and say stupid stuff in stupid ways, but that's their issue. So the combination of these 2 products at key moments during the day supports a holistic approach to insulin resistance, liver function, and overall metabolic health. It's easy, it's sustainable, and effective. It's not complicated diets, no endless pills, just 2 real food products that are managing your health simpler and more straightforward. Okay, so we want to take a look at it. We want to take a look at it in depth. So Crescent, I hope you're getting some good information. And if you missed part of it, go back to the Facebook page you're watching and you'll see the whole thing later, or go to my YouTube page and you'll see it there too. So I'm on multiple platforms right now. So you'll be able to, and if you go to the link in my bio on any of those platforms, you'll find me on every platform I'm on. You'll find links to that. So when it comes to cholesterol, especially in the context of insulin resistance, things get tricky. And insulin resistance can lead to higher levels of triglycerides and LDL, the bad cholesterol, which accumulates in your liver. And that not only impacts liver function, but can increase the risk of developing fatty liver, which is upline from gallstones. Okay. The protocol helps by supporting the liver in a couple of ways. First, it's providing powerful antioxidants. Both of them have powerful antioxidants that help protect the liver cells from oxidative stress that is heightened in insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is causing oxidative stress, inflammation, excess cholesterol, all of that. Secondly, the protocol is including ingredients that support liver detoxification, which can help the liver process cholesterol more effectively and keep your bile flowing. So ultimately, that reduces your chances of gallstones and liver strain. That answers some of the questions. Okay. So additionally, this protocol is giving you healthy fats like omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential in reducing inflammation in the liver, improving cholesterol balance. We have an imbalance between omega-6s and omega-3s. Omega-6s are coming from those seed oils. Omega-3s are coming from the healthy ones I talked about, and that helps reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. So here's the thing. A well-functioning liver helps regulate the production of cholesterol bile. And that's the whole problem why you're having gallstones. It's unregulated and it's dumping too much cholesterol into your gallbladder. And the key components that digest fat and in digestion and fat metabolism are in the protocol. So by supporting your liver, the protocol is helping you optimize how it processes fats, which can in turn balance cholesterol levels and improve overall metabolic health as well as that gallbladder. Okay. Again, the protocol is the only claim it makes is that it addresses insulin resistance. I'm connecting the dots for you guys. Okay. Um, is it possible? Yes. Am I going to tell you absolutely 100% that you're going to clear your gallbladder by doing this? No, I can't make that claim. Okay. So, are the products okay for histamine sensitivity? Yes. So there's a little bit of lemon in the tea, but the tea is yerba mate, high quality, highly concentrated, cleared of things like pesticides, toxins, plastics, molds, all of that. And it's concentrated so that one of the components like chlorogenic acids, which are great for the brain, are 375 times more present in this than any other yerba mate. By the way, most teas and coffees, you're going to get molds and stuff, and that's where you're having histamine problems. So this is really good for that. Both of the products are clean, high quality. That's part of the reason they're $5 a day. We could make stuff cheaper if we didn't care so much about your health. It's $5 a day, though. I know people who are spending that on a flipping Starbucks every day, and that is causing more insulin resistance. You guys, Starbucks is so horrible for your sugars. Louise, I missed some of your other comments. You quit your Ozempic. I'm so freaking happy. Like you guys, I cannot tell you how much I dislike those drugs. Everybody gets to make their choices, but I'm so happy for you, Louise. Sorry, Bailey Kate, I didn't see that earlier. Okay. And my glasses are clear. Whatever. Because it cracks me up. All right. So, here's the other thing. You'll hear about a lot of other products and they're like a single source or they're a one path to insulin sensitivity, or they're supporting things outside of it. But what I want you to understand is that insulin resistance is really at the root. So you get the protocol, and then it addresses that root cause. And there you go. So it's about $5 a day. When you do it on subscription in the US, it's like $159 a month. We're going to go over some of those things too. I just sent a link on YouTube and Facebook, and I'm going to send it here. Let me know if this link shows up for you guys. So here's the thing. That link will open up my little information page on the protocol. And when you choose to order, the link that you order from is going to take you to the website for whatever country you're in. If you're in Canada, it's going to open up the Canadian website. If you're in the South Pacific, Australia, New Zealand, you're going to get that website. If you're in the UAE, you're going to get that website. If you're in Ireland, the UK, France, you're going to get those websites. Okay. Okay. You don't see it. So just go to the link in my bio or message me after this live and I will send it to you directly. Okay. TikTok likes to block those links. And if you go to the link in my profile, you'll see my other platforms as well. So use that link. The top link when you open up my landing page is where you're going to get the protocol. Okay. So let's break that down. Some people are like, oh, it's $5 a day for one. No, it's $5 a day for all three. So 1, 2, 3, it's about $5 a day. What, about $1.76 each? But I know that this is less than a soda. This is less than a soda. This is less than a soda. All of it's less than a soda and a bag of chips. But instead of tearing my health down, it's building my health in a number of ways. I do have a meeting to hop on in 5 minutes, so I'm going to try and crush the rest of this information really quick for you. You get a 90-day money-back guarantee. We haven't covered that. You guys, if you're interested in this, in a real way to address your insulin resistance, help your liver, help all of that, you get a 90-day money-back guarantee. If it's not working for you, if you're just not happy with it, you're going to get your money back. But give it 90 days. Don't just go, I'm going to try this for 30 days and then give up. It took a long time for your body to get this sick. Give it 90 days to start feeling better. You'll see things like increased energy, better mood, reduced inflammation in those first 30 days, most likely. But some of your issues, depending on you and your metabolism, may take a little longer. So give it 90 days. You're getting the quality guarantee and you're getting a low price guarantee. You're paying the same as me. You're not paying the price that's out on Amazon, eBay, Walmart. That's just juking you for some money out there, and you're not getting all the coaching. And like Louise said earlier, she texts me, and when she texts me, I answer, I respond, I go do the research, and if I don't know, I'll find out and help her out. Okay. And I do that for everybody that I work with. That's what you're getting for $5 a day. So try that. But then there's also this, you're Hispanic, you eat rice every day. Rice messes with your sugar. Yes, it does, Dee. But here's the thing. So let's talk about this little packet. Everybody loves to talk about the tea, and I love the tea, right? I drink 2 of these a day. You guys, the system comes with 2 tea and 1 balance, but I order extra balance every month because here's why. So I eat Hispanic foods or Mexican, whatever, whenever I want. But what I do is if I'm going to have rice, maybe I double up on this, or I at least make sure that I'm having this when I eat rice. Okay. So it's better for you to try and cut back on the rice, but you don't have to get rid of it altogether, depending on what your health issues are and how much you need to change that. This will reduce a blood sugar spike by up to 43%. Rice, bread, grains are some of the highest spiking foods that you're going to find out there. By the way, when you order from me too, I'll send you my little cookbook, which has a bunch of protein sources, food sources, all of that in there, so you guys can start to understand how to eat. You don't have to change your whole life. Okay, you use this. I love beans. I love a good plate of rice and beans with some chicken, however I want it fixed for the day. But I don't eat rice every day. Beans are amazing. Okay. Now, so I just drink this beforehand. Again, it's going to reduce that blood sugar spike by about 43%. It's narrowing down how much of that glucose from the food you eat hits your bloodstream all at once. And that's the key. So if I have something that's higher in carbohydrates, then I have 2 of these. What do most of my plates look like? So today for breakfast, I don't normally have toast in the morning, but I did. I had 3 eggs over easy, chicken sausage with apple and Gouda in it, no nitrates. And then I had 2 slices of toast. This evening, I'm not sure what I have in there. I love all kinds of things. My kids took me out for Mexican food on my birthday. I had some grilled chicken with rice and beans and tortillas. Yes, I had all of that. I just made sure that I had this before I ate that so that my blood sugar didn't spike. So I use it anytime I'm eating that, and that's what helps keep my blood sugars down. Now, those of you without a gallbladder, when I do have a gallbladder attack, gastritis in the middle of the night, these are the things I do. I get up and I have one of these. It helps soothe my gut. This is off brand, off whatever. This is just what I do. But I found that the fibers in this fill up my gut, slow down acids, help me digest through some of that food that's sitting in there causing gastritis. It soothes my gut a little bit. We have a prebiotic or a probiotic that I take in the middle of the night when that happens. And then I also, we don't have them, but I use a digestive enzyme that you can find them on Amazon. But I use a digestive enzyme when gastritis kicks off, which I should have done. I should know better than to do that. I should eat it. Should have it before. But those are the 3 things in the night that I do for my gastritis to help it manage and ease the pain much quicker. I do the fiber. I'll wait a little while, do the probiotic, and I also do a digestive enzyme, and that helps significantly reduce a gastritis flare for me. This I use when I have acid reflux because I have ADHD and anxiety from autism, whatever. So I use this for a number of things. If I'm really hungry at night and I know I shouldn't be eating, I'll drink this before I go to bed. It fills up my gut, makes me feel full, but it's adding to my health. So the ingredients, when you go to the website, you'll be able to find ingredients. If you click on my link, I have a website, you'll be able to find all the ingredients there. This is all real food ingredients, no gluten, halal, sweetened with stevia. So, and then if you have questions about it, message me and I'll give you answers as to what's in there and why. Okay. So you guys, I do have to hop on a meeting in 2 minutes. What I did want to say is if you do it and you say, okay, this is working for me and I love this system and people are asking you about it, which is what happened for me, you'll get a $10 credit on your next purchase every time somebody else purchases from you. Share it with some friends and family who need it. You're getting yours for less just by sharing it. Then if you decide, hey, I want to make money, I want a better way to make money, you can do that too. That's how I got started. I was like, this stuff works. It changed my health. It changed my life. It gave me my life back and I want to share it with people. And now that's the only way I make money is helping people like you. Hey, Leanne, it's been a while since I've seen you. And that's all I do, you guys. So there's a place for you to have a conversation with me about that as well. If you're interested in adding to your income, adding a different stream of income, finding a way to eventually get rid of your job, whatever, let me know, because one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done in my life, I've always been in service, is to do this and help people like you guys who are suffering with gallbladder issues today find a real way out in a way that I feel good sharing with you, that's not destroying your health but building it. So I will come back tomorrow. I think I may just talk more about the protocol tomorrow, some more science about it, and do that. But right now I have to hop on a meeting. Love you all. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.